Hello, Zuko here, and I'm here to do a book haul because where there's an unhaul, I buy more stuff I didn't need. If I look exhausted, it's because I am. I couldn't sleep until 5 a.m., and then at 7 a.m. I was woken up by a cat, and then at 9 I was woken up by the mailman. So I'm like, I'm just gonna film this because I want to put these books on my shelf. So that's pretty much it. I made two big book outlet purchases, so half of my video is going to be today and half is going to be whenever that shows up. So yeah, let's start this haul. Mostly I made this purchase because they had all of the hardback copies of the Wizard of Oz books by L. Frank Baum, I think is how you say his name. But they had the first volume and the second volume and the third volume and the fourth volume, fifth volume, because previously I have had all of the Wizard of Oz books as like, it's a really huge paperback floppy like 2 columns per page book, and I was like, I'm never gonna read the books like this. Like, at least this is a easier way to manage the books. And if you didn't know, I think there's 18 or 15 or something of these books, like the Wizard of Oz books in the series, and I want to read them all one day because I read the first one and I enjoyed it. So there's these ones. Then I obtained Beware the Wild by Natalie C. Parker. I don't remember what this is about, but it sounded interesting, so here it is. Then, like my unhaul promised, I have book 2, Thief of Souls from the Star Shard Chronicles, I believe, by Neil Shusterman. I wish that this cover was in better condition because I did buy this to replace paperback, but it'll do. So I have this. And I have King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo, which has like a Walmart price sticker right here I'm gonna have to try to get off, but I don't have anything else to say about this book except for it's big and it's very pretty. A lot of these books tend to be really pretty though, so I'm not surprised. Then I have The Dungeoneers by John David Anderson. I mostly bought this because it seemed kind of D&D related, and I am a big fan of D&D. So I was like, a book that seems like it could have something to do with Dungeons and Dragons. Hell yeah. And I think that's all of the books I have today. So on to future me, let's go! Okay, so like a week has passed and I'm back with a bunch more books. So now I have Loki Where the Mischief Flies by Mackenzie Lee. When I saw that she was writing a book about Loki, I knew that I was going to buy it, and I still kind of feel like trash about it, but I love him so much, so I'm real excited to own this. Except, like, I don't know if you can see his face there. It's real silly looking, but oh well. Next I have These Witches Don't Burn by Isabel Sterling. This is a like queer witch book about, as far as I know, an elemental witch, I think, and her ex-girlfriend, and this girl she likes, and probably someone else, I don't really remember, but queer witches, so I picked this up for October Spoopy read. And I have Pumpkinheads by Rainbow Rowell and Faith Erin Hicks. This seems to be a cute, like, seasonal fall book about some friends, possibly lovers, I don't really know. But it looked cute and it looked like a fun October read. Then, as I was donating my unhaul, I found It Devours by Joseph Fink and Jeffrey Cranor, a Welcome to Night Vale novel, which has purple pages. I tried to get into Welcome to Night Vale when it was first a thing, but I had a lot of trouble with, like, there not being anything to visually focus on, so I couldn't listen to it, and now I feel like I'm many years behind and I don't want to catch up, but I always liked the premise of it, so when I found a book for cheap, I picked it up. Also at the used bookstore, I found Ask the Dark by Henry Turner. I don't know if this is going to be a great book. It seems to be about, like, murder and a YA maybe thriller. This was on my wish list from years and years ago because as a teen, anything that kind of looked like this I wanted to read. So when I saw it for cheap, I was like, yeah, it's been on my wish list. I may as well just buy it because it's like $6. Then I have this big box from Book Outlet because I made a mistake. I'm putting this here. If you can see it, you can see it. Okay, this is like a silly thing that I bought, but this is The Fat Cat Sat on a Mat by Nurit Carolyn. I read this in first grade and I saw it on Book Outlet for $3. It's tiny, but it was one of my favorite books in first grade, so I bought it just because I wanted to look through it again. So it's about a cat, sits on a mat. Very exciting. Next I have Waking Gods by Sylvain Neuvel. This is the sequel to Sleeping Giants. I have the first book. I saw this one on Book Outlet, so I bought it in case I liked the first book and want to continue the series because they're expensive, and this wasn't. Then I have The Witch's Book of Self-Care by Erin Murphy Hiscock. I mostly bought this because it seemed like a cute little thing to remind me to take care of myself, and also Halloween, which is self-care is also really good and important. And I got The Secret Loves of Geek Girls by Hope Nicholson and Kelly Sue DeConnick. And I've seen this floating around on Amazon, and it's written by women about their experiences with nerdy shit. So I wanted to pick it up because same. Then I got blah 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 blah. Then I got Strong Female Protagonist. This is the second book by Brennan Lee Mulligan and Molly Ostertag. I love Brennan Lee Mulligan, and from what I've seen of Molly Ostertag, her stuff is awesome, and I really like D&D, and so that's how I know about them, and I wanted to buy this to support them because yeah, strong female protagonist and good creators. Sounds like a great combination. And I have Wicked Like a Wildflower and Fierce Like a Firestorm, both by Lana Popovich. These, I'm not completely sure what they're about. I feel like there might be something queer in here, but don't quote me on that. They have really pretty covers, and when I read their synopses, they sounded interesting, so I picked them up. But also, look at the covers. I just had to, right? I had to. I'm running out of places to put the books, oh no. To continue in the witchy theme, I have Basic Witches, How to Summon Success, Banish Drama, and Raise Hell with Your Coven by Jaya Saxena and Jess Zimmerman. More witchy stuff, because that's the vibe I'm in right now with all of the October stuff and the fun witch books that are really pleasant and nice. I have The Gravekeepers by Elizabeth Byron? I just read the summary of this on the inside. I don't know what this is about, but it seems interesting and it's pretty. Do you see a trend? I'm just like, that sounds like it could be good. Also, that cover looks great. And that's how I end up with books right now. Then I have Toil and Trouble, 15 Tales of Women in Witchcraft, edited by Jessica Spotswood and Tess Sharp. This is 15 witchy stories written by, I believe, 15, I think, all-woman authors, which would make sense with the title. I bought this to read in October because I wanted some more witchy reads. Then I have A Room Away from the Wolves by Nova Ren Suma. I don't remember what this one's about either. I'm the worst at summarizing things. I think if you've watched my video for any amount of time, you know that, but I read the summary and was like, this seems cool. I also find it really hard to try to summarize something I haven't read because I always feel like the summaries at the beginning don't really tell me enough to be able to summarize it back to anybody. But know that if you read the summary, it might sound interesting to you too. Then I have Witchwood by Tahara Mafi. I had the first book in this duology. I think it's an unrelated middle grade duology. I think Furthermore is what the first one is called, and I wanted to get the second one because A, cover is beautiful, but B, I believe this one has more to do with death, like the main character helps prepare bodies and help them pass along to the other side, I think. And I'm always here for death books, and I'm always here for fun middle grade adventures. Then I have The Hazelwoods by Melissa Albert. A, look at the cover. But B, I remember this sounding good, and I still don't really know what it's about. I think a girl whose grandmother dies, and she's like pulled into some mystery or something. Again, could be completely wrong. The summaries never feel like enough to be able to explain it back to you. I'm sorry. I could just read the summary, but I think you could also just read the summary. So, yeah, there's this. And lastly, in this box of stuff, I did buy this cute little hardcover copy of A Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. You'd think I'd know that by now. But, it's just a cute little copy. I wanted it. Even though I just bought the rest of the books with bind-ups. This is a nice one to have as a standalone. Also, I don't have this one with me because this didn't ship with Canada Post, so it wasn't delivered this morning with this box. But I do have the sequel to Carry On by Rainbow Rowell, and I don't even remember what it's called, but I know it should be here by the end of the day. I don't have it to hold up. I don't have it to summarize. I heard something about a road trip. I don't know. I don't think I even read the summary for this because I knew I really liked the first one and I was going to read the sequel. I think that about wraps things up for this month's book haul. I think maybe it was a little bit extreme. Maybe I just unhauled some books and then filled my shelves right back up with more books. But maybe I'm also starting to unhaul some more books, so I'll have more room. But I can't let this be a trend again because I don't have room on my bookshelves for all of these things. Probably don't expect another big haul from me for a while. Not that I think anyone expects me to post anything at this point. But yeah, I will see you whenever I do my next video. It'll probably be a wrap up for the month of September, and then a TBR for October, which I'm excited about. Although now you've seen most of the books I plan on reading for October because of this haul. But oh well. There are more. You'll see them. Hopefully I read them all because I want to read them all. And yeah, I'll see you whenever I do my next video.